Self-improvement is one of the biggest undiagnosed psyops of our generation. Self-improvement to men is what the beauty industry is to women, where the industry is profiting off of your insecurity. Because young, ambitious men have been brainwashed to believing that making more money, getting in shape, getting more status is going to solve all of their life problems. And because of this, self-improvement has become an identity and not a tool. The act of improving oneself is objectively good. But when I say self-improvement, I'm talking about this movement, this sort of thought process that a lot of people have, where you think that improving yourself is healthy, but then many people, they turn it into their entire personality. It's a vice. It's a vice. Going to the gym is good, but so many of these people turn it into a vice because they don't want to face the actual problems that are deeply rooted inside of themselves. They don't want to face their shadows. And so they convince themselves that, hey, if I'm going to the gym every day, I'm being productive. I'm like making use of my life. And this is what so many young men are led to believe, right? In the same way that girls will buy makeup because they think it's going to make them look like Hailey Bieber or Kylie Jenner, men are spending a lot of time trying to buy, whether that's like buy courses to make money, or they're buying supplements. For example, a huge supplement right now is just peptides in general. They're like convinced that getting these things to look better and to optimize their performance, yada yada, it's like all of a sudden their life issues are going to disappear, and that's going to be that, right? And if you criticize this, you look kind of crazy, because the guy that says that self-improvement is bad, that you look stupid, you look silly. But the truth of the matter is that it's not self-improvement the way that the actual meanings of the words imply. It's more of a movement, it's more of a cult, it's more of a brainwashing. And because of this, here's what's happening. Everyone is performing productivity, especially online. Like, people curate lifestyles instead of building meaningful lives. If you get up at 5 a.m., if you do a cold plunge, if you do a sauna followed by a workout, and then you sit down, you work on your laptop all day, you take sales calls, and then you maybe smoke a cigar at night, oh my gosh, all of a sudden your life has meaning. It's like, no, bro, the people that live the most meaningful lives that I know, they all have this two major things in common. Number one, family and friends that they actually enjoy being around, like good relationships. That's number one most important thing. But number two is the work that they're doing is adequate enough for them. It's in some way meaningful to them. And it's not about, oh my gosh, let me maximize my money. Now, sure, money is a thing I'm not trying to deny. Like, we're all trying to make more money. But there are levels to basically like what you're willing to sacrifice and give up. Like, some people are doing, are straight up just immoral. They're scamming. Some people are, trying to falsely lead people down a path that's not good for them just so that they can have personal gain. And the way that girls have influencers that they follow, that it's often just like really pretty people or like pop singers or whatever. Men, it's like the Andrew Tates of the world. It used to be, I don't think anymore, but the Dan Bilzerians, Iman Gadzhi, Hamza, etc., where nowadays there's not many good role models, and you sort of fall for these polarizing figures, the ones that go extreme onto one end of the spectrum, when life is about, bearing fruit from what you have in developing relationships more strongly. And all in all, it's not about like these super, super surface level ideas of like, oh, if you get fit, your life is going to just be so much better. It's like, yeah, that's true, but there's more to the story. I shouldn't have to go to the gym every single day for 3 hours to basically find fulfillment in life. Like, some of these people are like, if you're not, absolutely chiseled, if you're not 6 foot, 200 pounds of 9% body fat, like, you're not gonna, it's just a little bit ridiculous. And I think our generation is tired of it, and people are starting to wake up to it. They are. Because what happens is, ultimately, this is the issue. Peace or happiness exists in the present moment, where you don't wish for life to be anything other than what it is. If you live in the past, you're depressed. If you live in the future, you're anxious. You have to learn to live right now. But what self-improvement does is it tells you that you need to just relentlessly keep on fixing yourself, and you're never enough, so you need to keep on moving forward. But it's weird. You can find a common ground, and I think the Stoics are really good at this. I think Seneca specifically was really good at this. Marcus Aurelius as well, of course. But of realizing that, like, it's okay where you are now. You can appreciate where you are now while still wanting to progress forward. As a matter of fact, I would argue that that is the human condition, always wanting to progress forward. But if you can find a way to appreciate where you are now and do that simultaneously, it almost seems paradoxical, but you can do it. That is what's optimal. Not these like alpha bros, or, you know, I think a lot of people started to see through the Andrew Tates of the world, where you're like, okay, you're a little bit like crazy, buddy. And so they started to opt for someone else. But I just, there's not a lot of really good male role model public figures. And also, this does apply to women too. I see a lot of women getting into, you know, this sort of psyop self-improvement, where they're like convinced that they need, like, women are like, I need to make all the money in the world, and I don't want to, you know, have a family because I just want to like work on my career. And it's like, listen, you can, both can exist at the same time. You can have a family and work on your career. Okay. But I don't know how many people, because this movement was really prominent, and like maybe 6 years ago, it kind of started to take off. It's like, because it's relatively new and we haven't seen anybody grow up in this, like I'm talking like 20, 30 years down the line, I predict that there are going to be so many men and even some women that are 40, 50 years old, and they look back and they've been grinding this whole time, and then they're like, did I even live my life? Did I even appreciate my existence? Did I even go out on excursions? Did I have my own odyssey? Did I have my own character arc? You know, like, they're going to be like, no, because they try to be optimal at every single moment. They're trying to eat the perfect food every single meal, X, Y, and Z. And it's so exhausting. Why do I speak so passionately about this? Because I was that guy, bro. Let me tell you guys a story. When I went to college, right, I was like, I'm going to start going to the gym when I go to college. I started going to the gym minimum of 4 hours every single day. I think I did 268 days straight of working out. I gained 60 pounds, and not of fat, mainly of muscle, a little bit of fat because I was like bulking. But I was dialed because school was so easy my freshman year of college that it took me like maybe 1 to 2 hours a day to do classes / work. And the rest, I didn't have a job, so I would just go to the gym, and then I'd go to the buffet and I'd eat. And then I would like consume all this content, try to figure out how to make money. I tried all these businesses, they all failed. Like, I was fully indulged in this for probably 4 to 5 years of my life, and it made me feel like crap. And what's so funny is that when I stopped caring about that, and instead, when I set a goal for myself and I just focused on that goal, but didn't make it my identity, that goal, didn't make my entire personality working towards it, my life changed the most, right? I go to the gym a lot less now. I go to the gym 3 days a week now because I don't need to go every single day, right? And my gains have been like relatively similar, although to be fair, recently, just because of college finishing up and everything like that, I haven't been, you know, I've been losing a little bit of weight. But, you know, once this summer hits, I'm going to get really back into it. And it's a healthy amount. It's not a obsession that turns into a vice where, you know, what's happening, as I was alluding to earlier, it's like these guys, they don't want to face their internal struggles. They don't want to face the shadow. So instead, they turn going to the gym into a vice because on the surface level, it seems like an objectively productive thing, but it can take over. It can be unhealthy. It truly can. And yeah, I literally fell for this brainwashing. And when I say I fell for it, it's like I knew that there was a ulterior motive behind it. Like, these guys were making money, but I still thought that it was my out. I still thought that, you know, relentlessly pursuing was the goal. And I think relentlessly pursuing is good, but not relentlessly pursuing self-improvement. I think relentlessly pursuing a greater goal in which, like, it's not about the sort of surface level cliche things that a lot of these guys talk about, like fitness, appearance, money, status, woman. Like, not those things. I think like what matters is my two heroes are Nikola Tesla and Soren Kierkegaard. Both those guys, they didn't like have, you know, they didn't have women. Like, Soren Kierkegaard actually broke up with his fiance, even though he still loved her, because he wanted to pursue something higher in life. Nikola Tesla like fully devoted himself to the alternating current, and he created the first, fundamental steps of telecommunication and all this stuff. Like, he committed himself to something greater, but it wasn't like what society is telling you is the self-improvement, right? And that's what I mean by relentlessly pursue those things, that of which makes you happy, your faith, your family. Like, that's what you should be focusing on, not just this like low IQ, straightforward, oh, it's just that. Like, come on, guys. Like, you got to be smarter than that. And I don't mean that in a mean way. If that's you, like, I was doing that too. So I literally feel for you. But yeah, you'll spend years pretending to live. You'll spend years posting pictures on your Instagram showing how ripped you are and how you got a nice car and you went to a steak dinner that's in a skyscraper in a big city. But it's like, come on, bro. A lot of this advice is just disconnected from reality. Many influencers, they will sell universal solutions for deeply personal problems. Not everyone has the same circumstances. Not everyone has the same psychology, opportunities, energy, etc., etc., etc. You have to figure out what your situation is and then use critical thinking to basically diagnose your problem, or maybe you seek help from family, friends, whoever that might be able to lead you in the right direction, and then you can pursue. And yeah, you can still be fit, you can still have status, girls, you can still get money without completely submitting to this self-improvement psyop. You can do that. Like, real growth is usually boring and invisible, and because of that, people just don't buy into it. But meaningful change happens slowly. It's the law of accumulation. It's not cinematic, it's not aesthetic, it's just showing up every day and getting 1% better every day, right? The point of life cannot just be self-improvement, because that's almost like the growth for the sake of growth, which is the ideology of a cancer cell, right? Eventually you have to ask, what am I improving myself for? Is it because you want validation? Is it because you feel like you lack meaning, right? This stuff, self-improvement is the self-improvement movement is the ultimate, let's avoid my problems and just work myself so that I don't have to think about them. That's really what it is. Those are my thoughts. This video is not designed to discourage people from trying things. It's actually just to take a step back and analyze, do I really care about what I'm working towards? Thank you guys for watching.